The Dallas City Council approved a plan to eliminate most short-term rentals across the city. Single-family homes will not be allowed to function as an Airbnb or similar.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sean Ray from Sean Ray Realty, and today I am sad to bring the news that it is a full ban on Airbnb in Dallas. Yes, we've been covering this for about 2 years now, and today I'm going to go over the video that I wish I never had to make, but I'm going to be going over what happened, what's going to happen next, what you should do about it, and then lastly, the legal ramifications and what your kind of protections might or might not be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to take my time on it. This is a very important thing. There are people that are watching right now that their whole livelihoods depend on what I say in this video. And if I give good advice, they could potentially make or save themselves from losing so much money. Stay tuned, get some popcorn, take your ADD medicine, and focus, because it's going to be a long one. Cue the calming music. So what happened? Well, after years of deliberation, they finally decided to go with an all-out ban. And that means that if you have an Airbnb, if you're managing one, or if you own one in an area that's single-family zoned, then you are straight up banned. And you have 6 months or less to get into compliance. After that time, it is all-out war. Now, what about those of you that played nice? They did everything they were supposed to do. They got your hotel occupancy taxes taken care of and all up to date. And you even register with the county. You're safe, right? No, you're not safe. You are also in the band of bad apples that you need to get yourself straight, and then you need to get into compliance ASAP. And now compliance means eradication. So you need to get rid of your listing ASAP. So let's talk about what's about to happen. Things are going to get really juicy, as my girlfriend likes to say. This is what I call a season finale. This is the end of a road. And so you're either going to be prepared for what's going to happen or you're not. So let's talk about what you need to get prepared for. This is going to be a 6-month time of basically the county saying, the Dallas County saying that your stock that you invested in at, say for instance, $100, in 6 months is going to be at $0. And so if you understand stocks, anybody that wakes up the day that they hear the news that their company is going out of business in 6 months and there's nothing they can do about it, then those people are going to sell those shares of that stock ASAP. The first person to sell the share, those are the people that are going to win. They're going to get out at $100 per share. And then the people that found out that those people sold their shares, they're going to get nervous and they're going to sell theirs for $90 per share. And then so forth and so forth until you bring in normal investors, everyday investors. Then those people are just going to see what the institutionalized investors and educated investors do, and they're going to just sell their shares because they're terrified. Take that same principle, but when it comes to the housing market. Now, at first, there's going to be a lot of people that say, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to mess with it. I'm just going to let it all play out and see what happens. And those are one batch of people. But then you have educated investors, institutional investors are going to say this market is no longer deemed worthy for our investment. So not only are we not going to invest any further into this marketplace, but on top of that, we need to pull all of our resources out of this marketplace, 1031 everything, and put it into a marketplace that's more suitable for our investors or for them themselves. So say for instance, we're over in West Dallas, which is a very heavy community when it comes to Airbnb listings. I have one there. A lot of my investors have one there. We bought a lot of properties there as it grew. We started at $130 to $140 per square foot all the way, and we stopped when it hit to like 220. It kept on going past 250, 260, even at 270 at some times per square foot. Up until this point, we started seeing the slowdown because people started thinking this Airbnb ban might happen. So we saw the prices go up from 200, 220, 250, 270, even 300 plus per square foot. And then it started to trickle down, trickle down, trickle down. Now it's not only just the Airbnb scare, there's also market conditions as well. Not everyone's super comfortable right now buying houses. I get it. Or they're not more comfortable going forward buying houses because of market conditions. But on top of that, particular areas like West Dallas, they were beholden to the profits of Airbnb owners. So they've been taking their time, waiting to see what's going to happen. As that happens, days on market start to increase, and then they have to lower their price, lower their price, lower their price. Now the day has come, and now they know what they've been waiting for is actually here. Now there's people like me that they're going to start selling their houses in West Dallas right away. They're going to try to get out as soon as possible. But we know the competition is going to be very insane. So you have to sell it for what would be right now for a nice new build in West Dallas, $230 to $240 per square foot, say for instance, give or take. You're going to sell it for $225. Maybe try to put it up there for $230, but $225 per square foot. That way you're competitive and you get out right away. Because I'll take $225 per square foot over $200 per square foot, because after that $225 gets sold, the $220 is going to get sold. Then the $215, then the $210. Then we're going to get down, I think by the end of this 6-month period, I think West Dallas could even go back down into the $200s or $210 or even possibly lower. So do you want to sell your property at $225 or $230 or $200 or $190 per square foot? So that is what's going to potentially most likely happen. And the bigger badass homes, the 5 bedrooms, the 2,500 to 3,000 square foot homes, those are gonna be the first to be affected. But there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna hold out. They're gonna say, this is too much. I don't wanna sell my furniture. What I wanna do is I wanna put it up for listing for a lease, and then I wanna try to lease it fully furnished for a year. Okay, well here's what's gonna actually happen. Those people are there's gonna be 15, 20, 30 possible new listings over the next week, all in that one area. Now, this is one little pocket. Imagine what all of Dallas is doing. And so this one little area is gonna go from having 3 or 4 active listings for leases in that area right now that have been on the market for way too long already as it is, and now you're gonna have a flood of new listings because people are too scared to sell, and now they're gonna try to list it for a lease. Those are gonna sit there for a very long time. And as other people are selling their properties and the property values are going down, 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 these people are realizing their leases are not hitting the prices that they need to hit because their mortgages were at a 5%, 6%, whatever it happens to be. And now they're having to pay $3,000, $3,500, $4,000, $4,500 a month for their homes. And then they can't get that for their lease. They're going to have to pay maybe, possibly $2,000 to $2,300 a month for a lease. And they're going to be underwater for $1,000 a month or maybe more. And so now they're going to want to sell. But now the new appraisals are going to be for the homes that just sold. Now those homes that just sold are no longer going to be those $230 per square foot. They're going to be $220, $210, $200. And so now all these people that waited with this crazy idea that there's a flood of listings that are going to be all for lease in this area that are going to be overpriced, and everyone's going to want to do a year furnished, which is insane. That's not going to happen. Then now they're having to sell, competing with the lowest possible price on the market. This is going to happen through all of Dallas. We're going to see the prices of homes. I think they said there's around 6,000 plus listings on Airbnb that all are going to hit the market, boom, at the same time. The market is going to be flooded with homes. This is going to affect not only Airbnb homes, but current listings that are on the market that are already struggling. Right now on the market, these homes that are listed that have 30 to 60 days that are currently on the market that should have been sold in less than a month and now going to take 2 months or more. They're all going to be competing with these other huge homes that are slashing their prices just to try to make any ends meet. Every single month they don't sell it, they're going to be losing money if they don't have their Airbnbs. It's going to be crazy. On top of that, you have the normal person that's not Airbnb. Say for instance, let's take the example of West Dallas. They're going to see all their neighbors selling all their properties. Pretty sure that was selling for $800,000 just 6 months ago, and now it's selling, that's selling, that's selling. Oh my God, that's selling, that's selling, that's selling. Oh my God, everything is selling around me. Let's check on Zillow to see what it is. And they'll see that $800,000 homes that were in the area, they were banking on whenever they bought their home for 500. Now those same homes are going for 500. And they're like, oh my God, if I don't sell my home now, then I might end up having to sell my $500,000 home for 400, 300. So then you not only have the Airbnb investors, but you have just the normal everyday person that are trying to get out of their house because they don't want to go underwater. So be careful of this. This is something that 100% might happen. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but it just makes sense to me. They're going to be using the people that are currently registered with the county and paying their hotel occupancy taxes. All those funds are they're going to be using that to build up an army of people, an entire coalition that is going to go against you as an Airbnb investor. So all those people that are registered, they're actually funding their own demise. That's crazy, right? And on top of that, if you were the local government and you had to fight a legal battle about, you have a list of people that already have put down on a paper on the internet, I have a Airbnb listing. 100% I have it. I admit to it. I have it. Not only do I have it, but I've registered all the information and the address, and I pay taxes. Do you think it's easier to go attack and ban a list of people? Hey, here you go. Here's a list of people that admitted to doing something that now is illegal. It's no longer a policy. It's no longer an enforcement code. It's illegal to do this. And these people, I can show it to a court and they've admitted their crime. How easy would that for someone that's underfunded, unorganized, and have no real direction on how they're going to do it? If they're going to go after someone first, why wouldn't they go after the easiest fruit to pick from the lowest possible tree limb? That is what I would be concerned about if I was registered right now. Now, I'm in one of my properties right now. I want to come here to show you what I'm doing. This is my second property that I got. I bought it for 300 something thousand. I wish I would have sold it last year. I had people wanting to buy it for $650,000. What? Should have taken that deal. And I knew at the time I should have taken it, but I digress. I'm in this property and it's full of furniture. I know that I have to list this thing for sale and for lease. I'm going to do dual listing, and whatever I get first, I'm just going to go with and be done with it. But over this next 1, 2, 3 to 6 months, this is going to be really hard to get rid of all this furniture. There's an entire house of furniture in here that's used furniture. Now, in the past, if I needed to get rid of something, I can throw it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and boom, I just have it gone within a week. And honestly, I got to give credit where credit due. It's not me, it's actually my girlfriend. She does it. She puts a lot of time into it. And most of the people speak Spanish that we meet up with and we pay cash for. So get yourself a Spanish-speaking girlfriend, folks. There's going to be a flood of furniture that's about to hit the market. Another benefit of getting in early is that there's going to be so much wave that there's going to be just too much inventory with very little demand. And so if you are someone that has multiple properties, then think about how soon do you want to sell your furniture? Because the longer you wait, the more there's going to be people selling. And on top of that, the other people like me that started early, their furniture is still on there waiting and just gathering dust, waiting for people to come pick it up. Everyone is going to be a genius right now and think, oh, well, I'll let all those people sell, or I'll let all those people lease list, and I'm going to be the smartest one in the bunch. And then I'm going to go after traveling nurses. I'm going to go after corporate leases. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, everyone is thinking the exact same thing. And if it was an effective strategy, and if it was easy, then people would already be doing it. And so would you, whoever's watching this right now. Getting into the travel nursing game is very difficult. And on top of that, getting into corporate leasing is also very difficult. There's another way that you might not be thinking about, but also insurance companies. Whenever houses burn down or there's any issues, insurance companies also need a place to put people while they're rebuilding their house or fixing their house. So those are 3 different ways you guys, most people don't talk about the insurance one, but those are 3 different ways you guys could be doing this that can also help you guys out. But if you could have already done that, then you should have already done that. If you haven't done it yet, then now there's going to be a lot of people thinking the same thing and attacking the entire market. Imagine 6,000 plus people in Dallas that are all owners that are thinking the exact same thing you're thinking. And the last point I want to bring up is that institutional investors, they're going to be looking at this as a high risk to low reward ratio. Yes, if you were to stay in as everyone's getting out, there's going to be a much more increased demand for your listings. But when it comes to institutional money or other people's money, you can't take illegal risks to do it. And so what most likely is going to happen is you're going to have the big boys get out of their properties as fast as possible, 1031 them into commercial and hotel zones. Now, if you are one of those people that actually is still in Dallas after all the dust settles, then that is a great opportunity for you to take over like the 9th largest city in America and be one of the few listings that are able to get all the outside interest from people coming into the city that don't want to live in the hotel kind of lifestyle. So what should you do like right now? Like right now, not tomorrow, like right now. After you get done watching this video, you need to like and subscribe and share and blah, 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 but you need to get set up. If you're already paying your hotel occupancy taxes and you're registered, unregistered, stop paying those taxes. Stop funding the enemy. Stop being the enemy. If you're doing that, you're not on my side. All right, 2, what you need to do next is you need to sell your properties. You need to be the first to sell, like right away. If you worked with me in the past and we've already gone through deals together, I'll be able to work with you on some things and play with the numbers to make it worth your while, and contact me personally and I'll tell you more information about that. But that's specifically for my clients. I'll do something special for them. If the numbers work, only if the numbers work, and that is, say for instance, if you bought 3 or 4 years ago and there's that much of a difference between your mortgage and what you can get on rent, then you should consider dual listing. And so dual listing, say for instance, my buddy Ray Oliveira, you guys know him from this channel. I've interviewed him and Anthony all the time because they're the people that are actually willing to come on camera and talk about this stuff. But he bought his first Airbnb for I think his mortgage on it is like around $2,000 or so a month, and so he can rent it over in West Dallas still for what I think that the units are going to go for right now. If you're to lease properties right now over there, they're going to be for like $2,000 and $2,500 a month, and so he can still do that. But he's one of the only people in West Dallas that can still do that. Most people's mortgage is going to be $25,000 to $3,000 a month, and even higher, up to $4,000 plus. So if you're not in that specific category in your specific area, that goes for Oak Cliff as well. If there's a lot of ones in Oak Cliff that if you cannot make profit on your monthly rent, then you should not do it. And I'm talking about a good enough profit, because there's going to be a lot of adjustments between a short-term and a long-term lease that you're not seeing right now. Some things that you might have let go, maybe replacing a fan or some lights, or as soon as the long-term guest comes in, they realize that the sink doesn't work, or blah, 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 blah. There's all sorts of things that when a long-term tenant comes in, they notice because they live there day to day versus just in for the weekend. So you have to consider that you need to have enough buffer between your mortgage and all your holding costs and the monthly rent. That's the second thing that you need to think about doing. The third thing you need to start thinking about doing is you need to start thinking about small little items that you can sell, like right now, without having to cancel any of your Airbnb bookings that you should still keep, by the way. Keep them until they tell you and force you. Keep onto your gun, come and take it, hold on to your gun until they take it from you. But small little things like this, like what is this? I mean, it's cool, but if I sold this for $10, $25, whatever it happens to be, on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and then a guest comes and it's in the pictures, but it's not here because I sold it, then I'm not going to lose a 5-star review. I'll be fine. I'm sorry that not all the games are going to be here, but you have to slowly start taking away little pieces away from your Airbnb, one piece by one piece that people aren't going to really notice whenever they show up. And then eventually, whenever the time comes, say for instance July, this property is booked, like all of July is booked. By August, it's here nor there. So during August, I might just go ahead and start taking away more and more taking more and more furniture out of here and doing more and more tours for long-term listings and selling it. And if you need to, go in and retake pictures, even with your phone if you have to, of the updated listing once you take out some of the main furniture. I mean, things like this table and all these chairs, keep those till the end. But maybe a rug you can get rid of, maybe a lamp that you can not see on the camera, but off screen, a lamp you can get rid of, things like that. If you don't want to, I totally get it, but it will help you a lot in the end whenever you don't have to sell an entire house worth of things. Also, look into 1031. I know a lot of you are kind of confused about how to use that, and this is not a 1031 video. If you guys want me to really break down what that is, I will in a future video. The next video I'm going to do, I've had a lot of comments about talking about SB 929, so I'm going to do that one next. But if you guys need me to, after that, I can do a 1031 video. Totally happy about it. But in the meantime, I'm going to share a link below that explains what a 1031 is. 1031 explained or something like that. But sell your properties, 1031 them into a zone. Like say, for instance, you want to take that property and sell it and you make $50,000, $100,000, whatever it happens to be. Then you can take that money, throw it all into Tesla, YOLO, or S&P 500. Or you buy treasury bills, bonds, whatever the hell you want to do, and you want to play it safe. You're like, hey, we just made it. This is going to be our retirement, and then do it. That's great. Or you can keep on letting it roll, and you can 1031 it into another Airbnb property. Is this whole situation too much for you and you want to get out of the game? You never want to think about it again? I understand. But if you want to get back into the game, then you can just transfer all your furniture from your current listing, buy another one as soon as this one sells, take all the furniture out and put it in storage, unfortunately. But then you can take that furniture in storage, put it into your new Airbnb, or you can sell both your Airbnbs, or if you have two, and then just combine your best pieces of furniture from both of them and put them into one badass Airbnb and just find a zone that's okay. Do it either in Dallas's hotel zone, and you'll be one of the few that are doing that. And then you can 1031 right into that. Or you can find an area outside of town, not too far outside of town, but something that is a smaller town. I don't know exactly how it is in Waco right now, but find something with that kind of idea. You know, obviously Fort Worth can't work. Arlington can't work. Not a lot of people are going to want to go to Grand Prairie for any real particular reason, but I mean, maybe Grand Prairie, maybe. I'm a huge fan of Glen Rose. I've always wanted to buy a lot of land and build like a tiny home village on there with like a pond in the middle. That'd be super cool. Have some goats and stuff like that. This could be your opportunity to be super creative and then take all the profits from selling all your properties and reinvest it in a really cool idea that you get to build from the ground up with all the money that you've made from making a big risk. And now here's your reward. The last thing you can do is just do nothing. Right now, there is an option to just not do anything at all. Just keep doing the things that you do. It's a very high risk and a high reward because everyone's going to be backing out and you're going to stay in and you're going to get all the vacant, all the properties that are canceling all their bookings. These people are going to be last minute trying to pick all the different properties, all the different areas. Like, well, we had this whole thing planned and now our host just canceled on us. We need a new place to go. And Airbnb is going to try to be finding them new places to go. And you can make a lot of money. Problem is that you'll be starting to get fined. And then whenever the time comes that you do get the bill and they say you need to pay this up or you need to get the heck out of Dodge, then you need to then sell your property or then do your lease. And so at that point, unfortunately, you're going to sell your property for a loss or very low, or you're going to have to lease your property. After all these other people jumped in first, you're going to lease your property for a much lower rate. So you have to measure how much money will you make by risking it and taking everyone else's bookings that got canceled and they came to you. How much money are you making for that versus how much extra money that you have to spend for the risk of losing everything, potentially going to jail and having to sell your property at a much lower rate. And so there is a legal court to be had, and we'll be talking about that next. So if you decide to do nothing, then what is your legal protection? So a lot of people are always calling and saying, well, what did they do in Atlanta to make it happen? What do they do in Austin to make it happen? Well, the difference is that in most cases, whenever it's been overturned, it's because there were protections for single family or STRs before they banned it. And so if you could say that, hey, this is something that was fine and totally fine, and we said it was fine, but now it's not fine, and now it's illegal, then you can go back and say, hey, this was something that was totally fine and we agreed on it, and I bought it with the intention of doing this because we have these protections in place that were already on the books, and now you just, after I did it, you flip the script and now you're doing this and saying it's illegal. And so that's why in these other places it was able to be fine, and it was able to be overturned, and then everything was fine and we're all good. There's still hardcore regulations when it comes to that, but that's the difference, because Dallas didn't have anything. Dallas did not define, at least in the meeting, I mean, the meeting was like 8 hours, 9 hours long. I watched it all the way to 12 o'clock last night. And one of the representatives was very, very, very clear. He kept asking, is having an STR right now in Dallas, as of before they voted on it, is it illegal? And they would say, well, it's against code, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I know it's against code, and I know blah, 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 and party houses are illegal, but is itself, the act of owning an Airbnb right now, illegal or illegal? And they said, it's a gray zone, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, is it illegal? And he said, okay, specifically owning an STR in Dallas is not illegal, but there are also no codes that allow you to do it either. And so it's a gray zone. And so what that means is that since there are no protections, there's nothing we can fall back on. But also, which I said I'll cover in the next video, I kind of want to talk to a lawyer though. So if you guys know of someone that could really go through it with me, I've been trying to talk to the person that drafted the bill. I've been trying to talk to Chad West, my local representative, and I've tried talking to a real estate lawyer, and no one seems to have a clear, defined answer. But Senate Bill 929 that was just passed, it does say that if you bought something with the intention of making money from it, then you do have livelihood and you prove livelihood from that property, then you made it illegal. It was legal and now it's illegal. Then you are due for the property to be sold and purchased by the county, or for you to be paid from the county for your losses because they made something that was legal illegal. And so I'm not going to go into all the details now because I can't quite tell you with 100% certainty that I understand this bill enough for you to base your future on. I don't want you to just say, hey, Sean told me not to do anything because of SB 929. Don't lay everything on the law on that one. But as of what it looks like right now, that is what they're going to use. They're going to re-look at the Dallas ban in 2 years from now, and then they're going to have to do certain amendments and changes. And so until the meantime, it's just going to be a Wild West. But I do know that a lot of people are putting money into, I've put money into a court case to fight. And I think they're going to be leaning really heavy on that bill. And so if you hold on and you don't do anything and you're willing to take the risk, there is an out for you. But I mean, that is just not smart investing. But hey, it's an option. In conclusion, I can only tell you what I'm doing. And that's it. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I advise based on the thinking in which I have between these two ears. I've been pretty right this entire time. I've made my clients a ton of money, and I've been almost dead on about everything other than I thought that it was going to be grandfathered in. I really didn't think they would go full ban. And so I apologize for those of you that were listening to me that I said that they would probably grandfather it in. I was told information from different people that are on the inside that they were most likely going to grandfather it in. Yeah, I'm shocked too. But in the end, this has been a crazy adventure. It's been a wild ride. I've loved being your Airbnb educator / real estate agent. I've got to help so many people buy their first investment ever in real estate. I've helped multiple people retire. Multiple people traveled for the last year or two just living off of their Airbnb income. I was a tad bit lazy living off of my Airbnb incomes. And so I'm just very blessed and very grateful for the opportunity to share my success with you guys. And I'm just so happy that I got to live the life I got to live over the last few years. It was a wild ride. And now if we do this right, we can get a nice big paycheck at the end as like a final farewell to our Dallas Airbnb adventure. If you guys want to continue on the journey, I'm happy to show you guys other options outside of Dallas, and I'll keep you up to date about what I'm doing, but it's time to get to work. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll keep you updated on anything that I think is relevant to making you money in Airbnb, especially in the Dallas area. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Thanks again.